How's it going, guys? Welcome to Audio Addiction. We have Vesuvian back with us. They can say their names, what they do in the band, and we got some new members, so that's always fun.
Hey, I'm RJ. I'm the lead vocalist.
I'm Taylor. I play lead guitar.
I'm Patrick. I play the rhythm guitar and do backing vocals.
I'm Adrian. I play drums.
There we go, guys. So obviously, RJ, we were just talking about it off camera. It's been a couple years. Obviously, I mentioned you guys have new members now. So, what went about that change? How did we go from, I think like 2017, 2018 Vesuvian to 2020 Vesuvian, new reborn, all that sort of stuff. So, how did that come to be?
Well, it's a pretty quick story. It's the last time we talked, we did the EP run with Lahar, and then we released a single, Catharsis Through Bloodshed, in 2018, and then we all just kind of the current members kind of got tired of it, so we all split up and did our own thing for about 6 months, and our old guitar player turned bass player, Ryder, actually started jamming with Taylor, and I was in this crazy, like, sludgy doom metal band called Beldom at the time, so I was off doing my underground cred stuff, but they were kind of breaking up, and Ryder kind of told Taylor, hey, I kind of know a vocalist, and over a weekend they kind of played some music for me. Actually, most of the songs that hit on our newest EP were there at that point, but I kind of rejoined up with them, and then after a while we're like, well, let's do a band, and well, we didn't have a drummer, so we actually kind of recruited our old drummer for a hot minute, and that's when he joined. We decided let's just restart the band, and well, life happened. We got Patrick as a second guitar player, roughly the time that well, our entire rhythm section had to move out of state, so they couldn't really continue on anymore. Life kind of went a different direction for those guys. I mean, love everything they did, and hope at some point we're all still on good terms and everything. Just life was how it was. It wasn't anything bad. But at that point, Patrick actually knew Adrian from a different project, and it wasn't even really a tryout. It was more of Patrick was, I know a guy, and then the guy showed up, and well, 3 weeks later we were in the studio, so we're lucky he had the guy. So that's pretty much what it's been up to here. We haven't got to actually play a live set for this lineup yet because of, well, the world. But yeah, that's kind of from 2017 to now. That's not a lot's happened, but a lot's changed, including the sound and the members mostly. But we're still kind of carrying on as much as we can.
That's cool. And did you I guess, like, speaking to RJ more specifically, did you ever think about maybe, since you were like, one of the primary members, did you ever think like maybe we should just like start a new band and like come up with a different name? Or were you just like, you know what, let's just stick it out, try to do it this way, and like, go that route? Was that ever maybe a thought process in your head? Or
we definitely thought about it for a point, but like we said, we had with pretty much 3/4 of the founding members of the original band, we kind of we decided that we were going to revive the project, and by the time they had to move out, basically we were 90% done demoing out the EP. We were already starting the social media train and everything, so by the time everything, like, the dust settled, we didn't really have time to change it. So I'm just kind of glad that we're still rolling with it, but the thought had crossed the mind a couple times, but the timing just kind of didn't work.
Well, I'm glad you guys stuck it out with that name, because I feel like, to me, like, that's when we were messaging, I was just like, I'm glad he stuck it out with Vesuvian, because I think that's, well, it's a dope name, but like, also on top of that, I'm glad you guys are continuing under that whole thing. And obviously, speaking to, more so the new members, you guys, how do you guys feel being in this project? Do you feel like everything is, obviously, I'm sure you'd like to play, live shows, of course, but, did you feel like collectively already you guys are like pretty, tight-knit and ready to just work on new music?
Yeah, I mean, so like RJ said, I knew Adrian from a different project that we had done together. So me and him really worked really well together already. And so when I came in, it was still, 3/4 of the old lineup, and they had Taylor on board. And I walked in, and me and Taylor just kind of clicked with how we were playing. And then, as RJ said, life just kind of happened, and things, sort of exploded a little bit. And we were in desperate need of a drummer. And I didn't even really ask Adrian if he wanted to do it. I was like, hey, Adrian, you're gonna be in this band now.
And how'd you feel about that, Adrian? just getting signed up for something didn't even know about?
Yeah, I was kind of for it. I, of course, did the usual. I asked for some samples, kind of wanted to get an idea of the direction they were even going before I actually full-on committed. But, took probably a couple meeting of just talking, and then a meeting of jamming to kind of get the direction of where they were going. And I thought it was a pretty solid move. So I was like, why not? Yeah.
There you go.
I sort of knew RJ just on the scene from shows. Like I was a fan of old Vesuvian too. I remember going to shows and seeing him there. It was always like we would kind of see each other and lock eyes. I'm like, I know you, but I don't know you. So eventually, Ryder hit him up, and it was like, oh, that guy. Yeah, I know that guy. Yeah, he's good. Yeah, let's get him to do vocals. So
there we go. Well,
yeah, so it was pretty natural, I think.
I'm glad it all fell into place because that, like I said, I checked out the EP because I think that was originally how RJ reached out because I took a long drive, and I was just like to go visit my parents, and I was like, I gotta get some new tunes. Like I need somebody because I know a lot of people on my Facebook feed, and I'm like, somebody has to be releasing music during this quarantine time. So I was really stoked that RJ was just like, yo, check this out. I was very excited to listen to it, and I listened to it probably, I don't know, 3 or 4 times when I was on the trip. So it sounded real sick. Keep up the good work, guys. But speaking about the new EP, for people who are checking out, Vesuvian for the first time, I guess more specifically to the newest EP, what song would you recommend them to check out? Like which one's one of your personal favorites?
That's interesting. We probably all have a different answer, but just looking on the raw metrics of it, our song Call the Void incredibly blew up. It's got 12,000 streams at this point compared to 400 on every other song on the EP right now. So that's a easy pickup point. But personally, I really like the last song, Burden of Truth, as it's probably the most melodic and easily accessible song on the album. But I'm pretty sure everyone else has an entirely different opinion than me. So I'll let you do that.
I'm pretty much a fan of Burden as well. I mean, I like the swinging dynamics of it. It's not all just go 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 go. There's some up, there's some down, there's some rock vibes, there's some power metal vibes. It's kind of it floats around a lot of different areas, and it's just fun to play.
That was definitely an interesting song to record as well. I didn't even know that was the last song we worked on. We hit the studio, and I didn't even know what the drums were going to sound like until he started laying them down. Like, oh, cool, so I guess I got to change the vocals a little bit. All right, on the fly, but I really like how it ended up turning out. And I think Burden was the original song that kind of Ryder had played for me, that it was a demo that Taylor had done. I'm like, I'll be a part of this. So it's my favorite because it was probably the first one I heard. And, well, I mean, I can't say it's fun to play live because I haven't got to play it live yet, but I feel like it'd be fun to play live. Although on the outro, I'm never going to be able to recreate that vocal because I straight up blew out my voice on that last screen. Oof. And it's on, it's captured, and it's beautiful, and I love it.
Yeah.
But yeah, those two would probably be my two picks, Void or Burden.
Yeah, that one was fun. I had been sitting on that song for probably about a year in its first rendition.
Okay.
And then once we got into the studio and got input from Josh, our producer, I mean, it was way better than I ever thought it could be. So I was very happy with that. I really like the guitar work, and I mean, honestly, everything about just the title track, Devotion to Infinity, is just a lot of fun. That's in your face, it's melodic. I mean, there's nothing I don't like about it. I think those two are also my favorite.
I think Devotion's probably my favorite. I like everything. Horrid by Design is a very close second for me, just because it really is the one time during our set where I just get to, I don't have a lot of backing vocals in that song that require me to be focused. So when we're just jamming together, we stand there, like idiots whipping our heads around in a fucking basement bedroom, essentially. But it's Horrid's really fun because I just get to jam out, and then it's the one time where me and RJ can just do these just gross guttural vocals with each other. It's great.
It's a beautiful trade-off. It's disgusting and beautiful at the same time.
I would also echo that. I always like listening to it, and I was like, I was in traffic, so I was like sitting in my car. I was just like, this is it. Like, this is so sick. I have to like rewind. So I like rewind that portion of the song, and I was just like, I don't even know. I like basically just like smashed my head against the steering wheel because I was just like, this is so dope. But that's it's so like the EP is so like wild, and you know, I love that you guys kind of have those moments of like you're saying there's some like really heavy, like fast aggressive stuff, and then there's also some like really beautiful melodic stuff towards the end. And you know, if you guys haven't checked it out, I'll leave a link to the EP so you guys can check that out as well. But obviously speaking on, you know, obviously having a lot of the new members, what are you guys influenced by? RJ, you can update your influences as well, but who do you guys draw from more specifically?
I think RJ, you can probably start this one off.
Oh, good. I've always saw Vesuvian as more of a melodic death metal band, so it's kind of the same. Avatar, In Flames. I will say In Flames, but after their current re-recording of some stuff, I'm not 100% sure I should say that anymore because they kind of ruined my favorite song. But I will to this day say In Flames, Avatar, to say just give two. But actually jamming with these guys, my influences have actually gone a lot more towards power metal, which is why we're calling the new genre brutal power metal, because it's melodic death metal, but it's closer to power metal than it is death metal.
Hell yeah. What about you guys?
Taylor?
I'm a huge fan of Sabaton. I really, really like that band. They, specifically the guitar player Chris, I mean, he's like my guitar hero, you know. So like I take a lot of like my playing is influenced a lot by him. Not that I can play anything like him, of course, but I also kind of like my whole musical background was much more like punk rock and, you know, like Foo Fighters-esque stuff.
Ooh,
so like
okay,
I'm probably
okay.
a bit of like a black sheep when it comes to that. But I mean, I'm, you know, also obviously very into metal. So like, you know, Monomarth was really big for me. Sabaton's big. Thanks to Patrick, I'm a big Glory Hammer fan. I didn't realize
Glory Hammer for sure.
As much of a nerd as I am, I'm really embracing that, and it feels really good. But yeah, I mean, also I'm a huge Maiden fan. I love Judas Priest. I'm just the good stuff, honestly.
There we go.
Drummer boy?
Drummer boy.
Prog boy.
Prog boy.
Yeah.
Prog boy is much more accurate.
I'm the prog boy of the band, I guess. I don't know. I guess some of my first drumming influences was Steph Brock of Textures.
Okay, yeah.
He influenced a lot of like me just even like pushing to get into drums, and he's just a phenomenal drummer. So I'm trying to like pull some influences that I hear from his stuff in Textures, but also kind of like swinging towards the power metal side, like Beast in Black, and I love Scar Symmetry. Like Scar Symmetry, they're just quick going is just like been a big influence on what I wanted to write with this band. But yeah, I definitely fall into more of a prog background. So there's that's a rabbit hole that we could go down for days.
you could give us a sampling. You could give us sampling what you got.
He's definitely the guy I go to for all the prog recommendations. He knows every band.
Oh, yeah.
It's insanity.
Yeah, definitely.
So that's kind of where I wanted to go with this band, was like drawing from that power metal and also pulling some of my own prog influences and even Carter Buford from Dave Matthews Band, like his reggae style. Like I love that kind of that groove essentially. So the new stuff coming is definitely going to be a lot more of a blend of those influences than the EP, essentially.
There we go.
Yeah. I guess for me, it's like my biggest influence ever was Sebastian Lieberman from Orden Ogan. And, I mean, you can hear it in Devotion and Void and stuff, just those gallops and those triplets and stuff. Like, that's my favorite thing in the world to play. Like, just crank the BPM and just fucking hammer on a string. And, but that kind of like really heavy in your face, but also having those melodic aspects to it. That's what I really liked about it. And then, as Taylor mentioned, I am in fact a huge Glory Hammer fan. Um, and I got into them a few years ago, and every time they come through town, I'm always front row at that show. And then also, I think it's Per Nilsson, the guitar player for Scar Symmetry. He's
Yes.
been a huge influence for me. He's also one of those people who is so just insanely talented. I'll never be able to get where he's at, but I can emulate and dream as much as I want to.
There we go. We gotta shoot for the stars here. You know,
That's
I feel that. Next question, guys. Obviously, I'm trying to tailor most of the questions to the EP. So, what was one track that changed the most, like from basically demo form to like the most current form it's on the EP now?
Horrid by design,
Gotta be.
without question.
That's not the same
Yeah.
song from the demo.
No,
That thing was a
that is-
180-degree difference.
That is completely fucking different. Than
You guys want to
what-
go? You guys want to go through it? Because for me, I love asking this question because I'm just a music nerd and I love hearing it from like the beginning and then just maybe like I love when bands do a complete like 180 on the song. It's just like from the demo, you're like, is this the same song? Like, there's no way. There's no way it could
Yeah.
be the same song.
I think that one was written when we were still like old school Vesuvian and possibly still going with that same side. So I think the demo to me sounds like a cut of what would have been on like Lahar if it was like a full length or something. But Taylor was the one who wrote it, so I'm gonna give it to him. But that's kind of
Yeah.
my input. It
That
felt
was-
like a super deathcore song at first.
It was so I had the direction right, but I didn't have the. It just didn't hit the way I wanted it to.
Sure.
And then it wasn't until we got into the studio and Josh was like, "Hold up, we're gonna try this again." And it sounds roughly the same. I actually found the old demo file a couple weeks ago and I was like, "Damn, that is not the same at all." Like the lead melody bit during the chorus, that's completely different. Honestly, it sort of feels like it's in the same vibe. Like, you could definitely tell it's the same song. It's just
Sure.
tweak the hell out of it. But yeah, I've grown a lot as a guitar player since writing that, and that's very apparent in these two songs, which are basically different. But yeah, we got a lot of good input on that one from Josh. A lot of credit to him for that.
Shouts to Josh. Go check him out. I'll throw his name up on the screen. So if you live out close to Vesuvian, go give them some love. But I guess like it's so cool to see. Like, do you feel like you'll ever like release the demo and kind of be like, oh my god, like this is what it sounded like, and then like here's the new one. Obviously, you know what it sounds like. I'm just curious. I know that might be like, quote unquote in the Disney vault right now, but
Yeah.
I'm curious if it will ever see the light of day.
I certainly
could.
hope not. I
Yeah,
really
it
hope
could get
not.
leaked. I mean, stuff gets leaked all the time. I
That's
guess
true.
we'll get to
Yeah.
see me try to do my super. I'm going for it. I'm going for it. I'm a hardcore kid. Vocals, which
Oh,
my
man.
god, I really hope you. Can you delete
Me
that
and-
file right now? like live?
Don't delete it.
We'll do an
Me and
8-bit
RJ.
album, and we'll put it on there.
There we go.
Me and RJ
It'll be a
were,
B-side. It'll be like a
Yeah.
B-side Vesuvian. Here's all the demos you missed out on, and it's just like,
Yeah.
oh man. I don't want to, I feel like people are gonna ask you now, so I'm gonna leave it at that. Guys, it's in the vault for a reason,
Yeah.
So we're gonna leave that piece. But I have to call back to another question that RJ's familiar with. Who would you like to collaborate with, whether it be like another guest vocal or guest feature on an upcoming Vesuvian record, or a producer you'd like to work with in the future? I know you mentioned Josh, so I don't want to throw Josh under the bus, so shouts to Josh again. But if you had a dream, if you had to envision a dream, who would you choose?
Oh, I think I know mine right away.
Shoot.
Just for sheer comic book and hilarity of it, I want Angus McFife from Glory Hammer.
That'd be good. He has to be
Yeah,
in
man.
costume for the whole time, too.
Oh no, he's
can't
gotta
break
wear the
character.
armor.
Or it doesn't
Yeah.
count.
God forbid you call him Thomas. The whole fucking thing is off, man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He laughed. He lit the studio on fire.
Be all over the news, who wants that?
Yeah.
Right? Anyone else?
For me, just looking at Adrian's shirt. A Matt Heafy from Trivium would be pretty awesome. I also think, just to pick his brain even, Johannes from Avatar. Those guys are just so incredibly creative. I would love to see what he could do to a Vesuvian song. Just even, I'll do what you want. Do what you want with this. I want to see what you can do, and just see the weird puppet master just circus show that he turns the song into. I don't know how much beyond the vocals he has writing with, but those guys, their music's so just kooky, weird, and original. I'd love to have him on a track just as a collaborator, if anything.
Yeah, see what he would do with it. Yeah,
Adrian,
I would love
Tony?
to have like Shagrath from Dimmu Borgir on some of our stuff.
Oh,
That
that'd
would
be
be
good.
like, I'm a huge Dimmu Borgir fan. Like, I totally forgot to mention that earlier. Like that would be, to see like the massive symphonics and then like splatter it with black metal. Hell yeah, that would be primo for me.
Drummer boy.
Oh.
I think he is. I think he's muted. I don't know.
Okay.
There
There
he
we
is.
go.
I figured it out. I would actually like a vocal guest spot of Michael Lassard from The Contortionist.
Ooh.
Oh
Because-
yeah.
Just because of his like really unique way of using vocal effects through their music. Like he's been like experimenting with vocoders and things like that. Like I think he could really add like an extra vocal texture to the song. Yeah, that's my pick.
That would be.
I agree.
I would be about that. I would be about that. If you want to shout out to the Contortionist, make sure to tweet at him. Let's get this
Get in
happening.
Every time they've been in town, I've seen them. I haven't missed a single one of their shows in years.
There we go.
Yeah.
Awesome, guys. Next question, another familiar one to RJ, because I like asking some old questions. But if you guys could pick a song to cover, what would it be?
This has been a point of contention since we joined the band.
It's been
And there's
recent.
been a lot of
We have been
Yeah,
trying to
and
pick a
jokes
cover
around it, too.
since
Well,
2014.
now is the time to decide. Now is the time to decide. Is on the internet. People get your voting pads ready.
Oh, no.
We're gonna be voting in the comments, guys. Let's go. Let's go.
Wasn't Backstreet Boys "I Want It That Way" an option?
That was
Yeah,
I'd be
no,
down
I
to
think-
cover some Backstreet Boys.
yeah. Can't go wrong with
All
a
right.
classic.
What's everyone's pick? And then people in the comments, you're gonna have to let them know which they should do a cover of.
I bet we're all going to have incredibly different answers on this one, to be
Big
completely
time.
honest.
Oh, definitely.
Yeah, choose wisely. It's not like the internet depended upon it.
I got one.
Hmm.
One of my favorite songs of all time, "A Change of Seasons" by Dream Theater.
Oh my
20.
God.
20,
I'm not that good of a guitar player.
23 minutes of awesomeness. Come on.
That. Oh, man.
It's
That's going to be a
worth
hard one to
a shot.
top, right?
It's worth a shot.
Oh, let's see. In that vein, if we're going to go slightly ridiculous and not pop music, if we wanted to do something absolutely crazy, I mean, I was going to say something like My Chemical Romance or something, but since we're going on that route, why don't we just cover all of Dope Smoker by Sleep?
No.
Could do that.
They probably can't remember exactly how to play it, so if we screw up, we got it.
Whatever.
Exactly.
Good move, RJ. I like that. Okay.
I don't know. I'd probably do. I think "All Guns Blazing" by Judas Priest would be pretty sick. That's one of my favorite
Ooh.
Priest tunes, and that's
Okay.
like pretty stark difference. So that'd be kind of fun. I think.
Okay.
Cool
Yeah.
guitar work and has some screams in there.
I'd say Painkiller by them, but Death did it so good, there's no reason to cover
Yeah,
it again.
there's
That
no
was a
need.
great
Fair.
cover.
Fair.
Yeah, that was a good cover.
I think I would pick a really weird one. I think I would go "Two of the Lucky Ones" by the Droge and the Summer Blend, and it's just like this really calm song. It's got like banjos and shit in it, and it's that song that plays at the credits at the end of Zombieland.
Oh, yeah, I know that
Right.
song. Oh, wow, that would be very. I would just want to hear that. Just I don't even know what you guys would do with it. That would be more impressive to me. So that's my vote. Guys, vote in the comments. Let them know what they should cover. Choose wisely. You get one choice. But the next question, guys, another fun one. If there was one album that you wish that you wrote, what album would it be?
Ooh, easy. Easy. The one that inspired this entire band. And that would be oh, God.
Oh boy.
Did you forget it?
Uh-oh.
Is it a brain fart?
Is it the Black Waltz? It's the Avatar album, the Black Waltz.
I'll
Yeah.
look it up. I'll look it up for you. Just in
I think
case.
I am almost 100% sure. I drew a blank, but I remember the opening line of that. I'm like, well, I need to quit the band that I'm in right now and make this band or something anywhere close to it.
Yeah, it's Black Waltz. You got it.
Yeah, the Black Waltz.
Yeah.
There you go.
I instantly overthought it, and I'm like, it can't be that. But yeah, Black Waltz by Avatar. I wish I could have written that album. Like, everything they had done before that was like excellent, like melodic death metal. In fact, probably the album before it was, I would call a melodic death metal masterpiece in their self-titled. So they wrote the best one, so they started going weird and very creative, and whatever the hell they are now, that was like the starting point and possibly one of the most creative albums I've ever heard from a band. So every day I wish it was me. I wish I could have written something that interesting.
Fair enough. And I had your back, RJ. Gotta make sure the the
Thank you.
keyboard warriors, can't
Right.
can't have that. No keyboard warriors.
Actually, you didn't say it right.
Here. I could hear someone typing away right now as this interview is up. But anyway, what about you guys?
Go for it, Patrick.
No. All right. Honestly, like, contrary to the vocal style that we have and just the general demeanor of our songs, I wish so badly that I had written Dawn of the Dragon Star by Twilight Force.
Ooh,
Excellent.
excellent choice. Excellent choice. I'm about that.
Oh yeah.
I am a big fan of Nocturnal Rites as well, and their album Grand Illusion is one of my favorite albums. Kind of got me into like the power metal leaning stuff. That was one of the first bands I found. That was super solid record. Yeah, good stuff.
I'm gonna stick to my prog roots and even my Dream Theater roots. I'm gonna say if I could have written any album, the 6 Degrees of Inner Turbulence dual album release from Dream Theater, like, just that is like is just a start to finish, just 6 orchestrated masterpieces, and I wish I was the one who wrote that.
Oh man, can I change my answer to 2012 by Rush? I'm feeling this prog vibe.
That's reaching. That's reaching.
Right.
You're poking a legendary bear right there.
That is very true. Yeah, that is a very legendary record for sure. Next question, guys. We talked about an album that you wish that you wrote, but if you were to compile a musical supergroup, who'd be in your band?
Oh man.
Oh shit.
If you were to replace everybody else but you in the band, who would you replace yourself with?
Oh, see, I can't be a part of that. Like...
You can.
Let's see. How about well, I could go real dumb and just say these guys, but
oh, you're so sweet.
My heart.
well,
Bro,
but
disgusting.
oh yeah, absolutely. But in the most literal sense, yeah. But in a supergroup, anything but me, or everyone but me, man. Someone take it away if you want. I was unprepared for this particular question.
This is a hard one. I love this one actually. So
I think I got one.
okay,
So,
shoot, Pat.
just so when I got introduced to like extreme metal, I was listening to bands like Atronam, God Dethroned, Divine Heresy, Nile, stuff like that.
Nile.
So I think my super group. Let's add a bass player for argument's sake.
Okay, fair. Okay.
So for the drummer, it would definitely be George Callias. The other guitar player, Honestly, I think I would go with Benjamin Ellis from Scar Symmetry. He's their newer guitar player.
Okay.
He's also in a band called Bloodshot Dawn that I was really into. Bass players, I for the life of me cannot remember his name, but he was the old bass player of Beyond Creation. Plays that insane six-string fretless bass.
Mm.
And then for
Get up.
vocalists, I'm really torn between wanting to go with like Angus McFife for just ridiculous power metal, and going with Christian Avelstam from Scar Symmetry and Solution 45.
Whew. Let me see
Definitely.
if I can find the bass player. It was former bass player or his current bass player?
Former bass player. He was the guy who was with them during Omnipresent Perception.
I think it's Dominic Lapointe.
Yep, that's him.
There you go. Dominic, shouts to Dominic.
Yeah,
And
so
the
George,
only-
Dominic, Ben, and Christian. And me kind of standing, just clapping and cheering them on.
I feel like that's going to be the case for most of us.
Yeah.
You do you, yes.
Yeah. It was like, you guys got it. Yep.
I'm just here.
I think the only person I think
Let me know
about
if you need anything.
like replacing is probably myself. Would be probably Tobias Graf, the late drummer for Deadlock. If he was still around, I would give him a shot. That or I'm really liking what Bastian Thosgaard is putting out in Soilwork. He's just a solid drummer, and he can put down anything that you put in front of him. And I would hands down let him take the throne for a little bit.
Okay, I had some time to think about this. So
There you go. Shoot.
drums, we're gonna snag Alex Bent from Trivium because he's one of the cleanest drummers on the planet. Dude,
Fair.
needs no explanation. For vocals, we're gonna take Joachim Cans from Hammerfall. Absolutely love his vocals, like just power metal, Swedish hair, great. Enough said. And then we'll grab Chris Rerland from Sabaton because he just rips. I mean, his guitar work is incredible. Like it's wild. I highly recommend it. Everybody knows Sabaton, but yeah.
I had to look it up because initially I had my band was just it was just Strapping Young Lad, so I needed to make a couple of changes. So I mean, just Strapping Young Lad. That'd be what I'd pick. But since we can't just pick that, I'd probably go Joey Jordanson on drums, Alex Webster on bass. I would bring Devin Townsend in as guitar player and then just let him do my vocals. It's fun. And then in a kind of a random pick, but I just honestly appreciate how great of a guitarist he is and just how like no one seems to know how good of a guitarist he is. Sam Topman from Dragon Force. He literally writes their entire discography. Amazing guitar player, and like no one seems to ever give him too many props. So I'd bring him on to probably write all the
Well, it's because Herman Lee holds his guitar above his head, so he looks cooler.
That's true.
Yeah.
He does do that.
He's got a lot more flash.
I'm also obligated to not talk shit about Herman Lee because he's my dad, so I can't can't do that. Can't do it.
Of course.
He might hear me in the other room, so I can't do it. Shout outs to Dad. Dad, it's nice. It's good seeing you. I'm glad we recorded a video together finally. Good choices. I'm all about that. That one. I know that one would be hard for me to answer, so I always love when bands kind of give me these interesting answers. But next question, guys. You seem like a bunch of gamers, so I gotta ask this question because it's personal to my heart. But if you could be a video game character, who would you be?
Ooh.
That's easy. Geralt of Rivia. I just, for the third time, whooped The Witcher 3. Finally beat the expansions. Highly recommend it. That is a badass motherfucker and does whatever the fuck he wants and doesn't give a shit about anything. And he kills dragons and monsters and shit. So
That's true.
I don't know what else.
Drop the mic.
Drop the mic.
Solid pick.
I've been kind of a Skyrim nerd for a little while, so I've just been like living my own little like Skyrim fantasy through my characters. So that's kind of my little pick there. Is just the high elf that I have there.
Nice.
There we go.
Yeah.
A fellow mage.
Oh man, I kind of have to go on the same wavelength as that, but insert name here. The main character, or the Arisen from Dragon's Dogma. He does have a name. I would definitely go with that. That's probably top 2 favorite games of all time.
Solid pick.
Okay.
Solid.
Yeah.
I see you guys have gone rational with this. I'm gonna not. And
Exactly.
so yeah,
Do
if
it
I had
up,
to pick
Pat.
one, if I had to pick one character to be, Tiny Tina from Borderlands.
Yeah, Tiny Tina.
Yeah, dude.
Oh yeah, he got it.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Patrick
This-
definitely has the explosive personality for it.
It was. Listen, this wasn't a competition, but I gotta give it to Pat. That was.
Yeah.
I'm all about that answer. I haven't heard that one. I don't think I've heard that one yet, and I've been doing this for 4 years. So, shouts to Pat for giving me the spicy picks. But next
Best.
question, guys. Obviously, we've been talking a lot about music, so I figured I'd keep it back to that. If you guys were to compile a dream tour lineup, who would be on it? And to make it more interesting, each one of you pick one band, and that is your lineup.
Oh, okay. It's a
Okay.
bit different.
One band.
One band.
Oh.
Uno.
Okay.
All right, RJ, are either of us gonna pick a Legion? Because I know one of us wants to.
I mean, probably, actually, now that I'm looking at my note for that. I almost, actually, because the other one got canceled, every time a Legion has been through here, Vesuvian's open for them. I love those guys, so I'm going to take the easy answer, and I'm going to go with the Legion. Those
there you
guys
go.
are the best.
Patrick gave you the alley-oop in that instant.
Yeah.
So
Oh, yeah.
shout outs to Pat.
I'm gonna lean in the vein of power metal, and I'm gonna stick to the Beast in Black. Like, they
Ooh.
put on a massive, huge, impressive show. They got tons of energy. They would hands down be awesome to be on a bill with.
I'm gonna say Nightwish.
Oh, okay.
Oh yeah.
Like
Damn.
Dream, Vakken with Nightwish. I don't care if I'm first or last. That would cool. Game over. Done. No more music.
Same
Did it.
day as Nightwish
Cool.
on Vakken. We're happy.
Sounds good. Yep. Career
Just
over. Nailed it.
accidentally get a little portable recorder and get Marco as a feature on one of our songs without him even knowing it. So
Totally.
come on, thank you.
Yeah.
Oh man. Honestly, I'd probably have to go with Glory Hammer.
Yeah.
That's just I've literally been 2 feet away from them on multiple occasions, and all I ever think is oh god, I just want to open for you guys so much.
Well, there
I
you
would
go.
have a sub answer with Dragon Force because they seem like fun. They seem like fun, and I know they would destroy my liver just by looking at me. But
Big time.
Very true.
Good time.
I feel like that whole tour would just be fun.
There we go.
Yeah.
Shout outs to my dad. Dad, if you want to host this tour, do it up.
Hit us up.
Shout outs to Herman Lee.
Yeah.
But anyway, Dope Tour.
I'm
You
down.
guys can order tickets right now for
Yeah.
the 2023 tour because,
Yeah.
we all know 2020 is canceled and we're just going to get a soft reset in 2021. So,
Cool.
let's go. Let's get it. You guys want to make it happen, do it up. But the next question, guys, another old one. If you guys were trapped on a desert island for the next month and there was one record you could bring with you, what would it be? It's a month. I feel like that's a little easier.
It is, yeah. That makes it a lot easier.
Yeah.
I'll go ahead and I'm gonna try to say this right. The new Isafernum album. I'm not. I can't even try to say the name. The one that came out in 2020.
Oh,
It's in Latin, and I can barely speak English. Yeah,
Yeah.
Fair enough. Good,
Tholastic.
good
Yeah.
choice. I'll throw the Latin up on screen because I also can't speak English very well either. So, or Latin for that matter. But anyway,
A desert island with one album. I'm gonna reach deep into some. Yeah. Band called Cheetos Magazine.
Oh
They have
boy.
an album. They have an album called Amazing Gus, and it's just so much energy. I feel like it would keep my spirits up, keep me going. Like, yeah. So shout out to Cheetos Magazine. They put out some really good stuff. Yeah.
Solid name too.
Yeah, I was gonna say. I was
Yeah.
like, what?
Yeah. Yeah, that's a rabbit hole, but they're some solid musicians that put out some really good vibes. Yeah.
Yeah. I'm gonna embrace my inner fanboy, and I'm gonna say Sabaton's "The Great War" that came out last year. It took me a second to get like fully into that album, but I have it on repeat all the time now, and every track is awesome, and I'm not bored of any of them. So I feel like if I've been doing it for the last year, I can probably handle one more month of just Sabaton.
I could just listen to Devil Dogs on loop for a month.
Totally, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
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 All good stuff.
I think I would have to go with Disciples of the Unseen by Atronam, because that was like my, like when I was a kid, you know, I listened to like Lamb of God and stuff like that. So I'd heard some, you know, extreme metal, but the first time I ever heard just a straight up like death metal album was Atronam's Disciples of the Unseen. So I think I could coast on nostalgia for about a month on that.
There we go. Great choices, guys. Very stoked to check out Cheetah Magazine or
Cheetos.
Cheetah. Is it Cheetos?
Cheetos, like the snack. Cheetos Magazine.
Oh my god. I'm just gonna have to look it up, and I'm gonna have to tell you. Brandon will interject himself in this video, and I'll give you some sort of reaction to let you know. Good, I don't know, or just like who knows. That's what's gonna happen. So you guys can look forward to that. And then the last thing, guys, tell them about your band, where they can find you out on social media, anything coming up, kind of soonish.
Do you want to take this one, Taylor?
Yeah, check us out on Instagram. We are at Vesuvian_band. What do we have going on right now? Lots of writing right now.
Yeah. The EP itself has been out for less than a month. You can check that out. It's pretty good.
Check out Devotion to Infinity. That's everywhere: Spotify, iTunes, Amazon Music, all that good stuff. And then we're working on some new things. Some new things. No timeline, but things are cooking.
Things are in the oven.
Things are in the oven.
The bread's in the oven, guys. That's all you need to know.
Yeah.
How has the writing been since you guys have been, I would assume, in quarantine? You know, how has like kind of the early stages of the writing process been? Do you feel like you're going to be kind of continuing a similar wave to the EP, or are you going to go into greener pastures?
I think it's safe to say that we're really leaning into the brutal power metal, specifically the power metal side of things. Devotion to Infinity is kind of a conglomerate of, you know, lots of influences and different musicians coming together for the first time. The stuff we're working on now is definitely in a direction that is more cohesive. That's still very much in process. We're still refining that kind of stuff and getting more of what our sound is going to be. But yeah, really leaning into that brutal power metal stuff, and I'm super stoked about it. I'm very excited about what's coming.
Oh yeah.
That's definitely how we're leaning. We're as he said, you know, like the EP has been, we all really enjoy what we wrote and all that stuff, and it really is just like this amalgamation of influences that we all kind of brought together. And now that we've sat down and done the process of it, like we're able to take a step back and see the overarching scheme of where we really want to aim our intention, you know.
Yeah, definitely.
There we go. Well, check out Vesuvian. I'll leave all links below, especially to the EP. Go give that a listen. Go give them a follow on Spotify. I know that is absolutely big, so go do that. I know I've already followed Vesuvian because, you know, they've been on the channel for quite a while, so I feel like, you know, if I didn't do it at that point, I shouldn't even have these guys on. You know, I should just go walk out right now. But go check them out. Seriously, I'll leave links below. I'm excited. I'll have to do a reaction live on Twitch if you guys want to check that out. So you'll get the fresh reaction, fresh perspective on the record. And if you guys enjoyed the interview, share it, like it, subscribe. Make sure to go tweet at Trivium, Dragon Force, anybody else you want. I don't know. Tweet at whoever you want to see on a Vesuvian track in the next year or two or whatever. Who knows? We're just going to put it out there in the universe. And thank you, of course, to Vesuvian for coming on and chatting tonight.
Thanks for having us.
Thank you.
Yeah,
Thank you.
it's great.